House Speaker is Mike Johnson out of Louisiana, and he is our guest here in Milwaukee. Good morning to you, sir. How you doing?
Great to have you.
Good morning. Great to be with y'all.
Just 2 nights, 2 shows, 2 performances, however you want to characterize it. How would you rate it so far?
I would use that word that you had there in the graphic, unity. It's a great feeling among the people. We've got friends from all around the country, 50,000 people here participating, and there's a real energy in the place. It was such an experience to sit in the box with President Trump on Monday night when he made his debut, the first time he had really been out in public since the assassination attempt. It was like walking in, those videos when he walks into a USC fight.
Yeah.
UFC, is that kind of energy.
Felt that too.
It hasn't stopped, as you know, and it's a really exciting time to be a Republican.
I read this morning that Rich Hudson, who is the congressman from North Carolina heading up the efforts to reelect Republicans to the House, has sent a warning to Democrats that if you are in a Biden +3 district, meaning that's a district that Biden won just by 3 points, that the Republicans are coming after them. So maybe you don't want to forecast a red wave, but are you guys feeling confident about taking the House back?
We're feeling very confident.
Keeping the House?
Yes, we're very bullish about November. We believe that Donald Trump will be reelected president, that we will take back the Senate for the Republican Party, and I'm convinced that we will grow the House majority as well. We'll have a unified government. We'll be in charge of all 3 of those centers of power, and we'll have a moment to unify the country, and that's what President Trump is talking about. That's what all the folks here on the stage are emphasizing, and I think it's a really important thing for the country.
Here's the House Majority Leader, Steve Scalise, on accountability, because what he was talking about there was trying to figure out the answers from what went down on Saturday night. As we shift our focus to that dark moment, here's what Scalise said on stage.
One of the things we've seen from the Biden administration in so many areas of failure is that there is no accountability. And at some point, if somebody doesn't do their job properly, you need to bring in somebody else. This is too important of a job. Your one task is to protect the presidents of the United States and former presidents of the United States.
Now, what's next?
We're going to move quickly. I'll be setting up on Monday a task force, a special task force within the House, and the reason we're going to do it that way is because that is a more precision strike. It goes quicker. There's not a lot of the procedural hurdles, and we'll have subpoena authority for that task force as well. It'll be compiled to Republicans and Democrats to get down to the bottom of this quickly so the American people can get the answers that they deserve. Since the assassination attempt, within hours, I was on the phone with Secretary Mayorkas at Homeland Security. He did not have satisfactory answers at that time. I've since spoken to leaders at the FBI, the Director of National Intelligence. They also there's real questions. Let's just put it that way. The answers have not been forthcoming. I think they're gathering data. We're going to do it as well. We have to have accountability for this. It was inexcusable. Obviously, there were security lapses. You don't have to be a special ops expert to understand that. And we're going to get down to the bottom of it quickly.
Do you think the U.S. Secret Service director should resign?
I'm going to call for her resignation as well. I think it's inexcusable, just beyond the classified parts, the things that we all understand. Her explanation to the media that there was a slant on the roof, so there was safety concerns.
There was a slant for the shooter too.
Come on, I mean,
exactly.
It doesn't wash, and I think she's shown what her priorities are. I don't know her personally, but we'll be asking lots of questions.
Have you reached out to her to speak with her directly?
I haven't. She's lower on the totem pole in the chain, so to speak, of the persons I've talked to. But obviously, the buck does stop at her desk on some of this.
There is a public hearing scheduled for her to appear on Monday.
Yes.
As of now, is that going to happen?
Well, we certainly hope so. I mean, it was the right step for our Oversight Committee and Homeland Security Committees to step forward and notice hearings. But we're hearing rumblings this morning that Mayorkas may not allow her to attend.
But does the task force supersede the hearings?
I've talked to both of those committee chairmen, Mark Green and Jamie Comer. I was speaking with him before I walked onto the set. We're all aligning this. I'm going to take it into the Speaker's office so that we can streamline this thing and move it quickly, but those guys will be intimately involved in it.
When you say move it quickly, America says Congress?
Yeah.
Quickly?
Well, look, there's a lot of procedural due process. There's a lot of steps that are taken in a full committee, an oversight committee hearing of an investigation of something like impeachment. I think this is a finite set of facts, a very important set of answers that we need to obtain, and we're going to do it quickly in the most efficient way possible.
And there's plenty of evidence now with the cell phones. It's not like 1963 where it took 44 weeks to do an investigation as to what happened to
Great point.
Quickly, sir, on tonight, J.D. Vance is going to introduce himself to America. What should America expect?
Looking forward to that. JD is obviously one of the youngest persons who will ever be, I think, elected vice president. And he brings a lot to the table. He has great life experience, a great story, comes from humble beginnings, military background. He's a thoughtful guy. He's a really intelligent guy, Yale-educated lawyer. He brings a lot to the table and a lot to the ticket. And I think many people will be introduced to him for the first time in that speech. It's a big one for him, a big one for the country. But I think he's going to deliver.
And if they win, he'll be able to help on the legislative front for President Trump and working with the team. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Great to be with you.